Welcome to the Daily Sports Content Economy Podcast for Monday, February 2, 2026.
It is going to be a massive week. I mean, truly pivotal.
It really is. And just to give everyone a sense of the scope of what we're tackling today, this deep dive is generated from a grand total of over 200 articles and references.
Wow.
We've really scraped every corner of the industry for this one because the stories today aren't just news. They're structural shifts.
It's necessary, though. The landscape is shifting so fast right now. If you blink, you miss a merger.
Absolutely. So before we get into the weeds, let's hit the top 5 headlines defining the day.
Let's do it.
First up, the big one in media. ESPN has officially completed its $3 billion NFL media takeover deal. And the kicker here isn't just the cash. It's that the NFL now holds a 10% equity stake in ESPN. That's coming to us from Octagon and Perplexity.
Huge implications there. I mean, that equity piece changes the whole incentive structure.
Right. Okay, headline number 2, shifting to the global stage. The Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina are about to kick off. And, well, they're being dubbed the first luxury games.
Luxury games. I like that.
We're talking unprecedented integration from major fashion houses. That's from Reuters and Sports Pro.
Fascinating collision of markets. It is definitely not your grandfather's Olympics anymore.
No. Third, over in streaming land. Prime Video is projected to become streaming's largest sports rights investor in 2026.
Wow.
Officially surpassing DAZN. That analysis is from the Sports Business Journal.
The guardrails are definitely changing. The generalists are eating the specialists.
Fourth, and this is a tense one, the WNBA and the Players Union are in a critical CBA meeting today.
Oh, this is big.
The season timeline is genuinely at risk. That report is from The Athletic and SBJ.
High stakes for labor today. A strike now would be just catastrophic for their momentum.
And finally, a big number in tech and revenue. A temporary suspension of YouTube TV was largely responsible for a $56 million decrease in Disney's sports revenue.
$56 million.
Massive hit. And that's coming from WDW News today.
It just shows the power of the platform.
So looking at all of this, our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. We're looking at a day defined by massive consolidation with Disney and the NFL, the total collision of luxury and sport at the Olympics, and critically, how the creator economy and platforms like YouTube are completely rewriting the rules of sponsorship and revenue.
It's a day where the money is moving in very, very unexpected directions.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with the behemoth in the room. This Disney, ESPN, NFL deal.
Right.
It feels like we've been hearing rumors about this for ages, but now it is done. According to the data from Octagon and Perplexity, the NFL now holds a 10% equity stake in ESPN, which values the network at a cool $30 billion.
$30 billion.
But help me understand the why here. Why does the NFL want to own a piece of a broadcaster? Usually they just want to sell the rights for the highest price and, walk away.
Well, that's how it used to work. But it's all about the alignment of incentives now.
Okay.
In the old world, the NFL sold the rights, took the cash, and if ESPN failed or lost subscribers, the NFL still got paid.
Sure, not their problem.
Exactly. But the cable bundle is shrinking, the media landscape is fracturing. So by taking a 10% stake, the NFL is essentially hedging. They're hedging against the decline of traditional TV. They're saying, we believe ESPN is the lifeboat, and we want to help steer it.
So they're moving from a landlord-tenant relationship to a partnership. They're sitting on the same side of the table now.
Exactly. And if you look at the operational details from Perplexity, this is a full-blown integration. This is the part that really struck me. NFL media staff are actually transitioning to become ESPN employees, starting in April.
Wait, hold on. Let's pause on that. So the people who used to work for NFL Network producers, on-air talent, the technical staff, they're now essentially Disney employees.
Correct. It's a full absorption. By the 2026 season, the integration will be complete. I mean, think about the culture shock there.
Oh, for sure.
But for the NFL, it solves a massive operational headache. Running a media network is expensive, it's hard, and quite frankly, the NFL network was never as profitable as they wanted it to be.
Right.
They get to offload that cost structure to Disney, who are the best in the world at it, while keeping the financial upside through that equity stake.
That is a brilliant, if slightly terrifying, consolidation of power. It basically means the league and the coverage of the league are now financially married.
It does raise questions about editorial independence, certainly, but purely from a business standpoint, it's efficient.
And in return, does ESPN get more content? Because if I'm Disney, I want something tangible for giving up 10% of my company.
Oh, they get much more. According to Perplexity, they are going from 21 games to 28 total NFL games per season.
That's a big jump.
It is a significant jump in inventory, which gives ESPN more leverage with advertisers. More games means more ad slots, which means more revenue to justify that $30 billion valuation.
It really blurs the line between the league and the broadcaster. So if I'm a consumer, does this mean I'm getting a better product or just a more monopolized one?
Probably a bit of both. Better production value, streamlined access, but certainly less competition in the marketplace.
Speaking of competition, let's pivot to the streaming wars. You mentioned that headline from the Sports Business Journal about Prime Video.
Right. This is the tipping point year for Amazon.
So they're projected to spend $3.8 billion on rights fees in 2026.
$3.8 billion.
That captures roughly 27% of all streaming sports spend. That is a staggering number. They're spending almost $4 billion just on the rights to show sports.
It is, and it signals a changing of the guard. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Ampere analysis data shows that DAZN is falling to second place with about 22%.
Okay, so why is DAZN falling behind? They are the dedicated sports streamer. That's their whole identity. Shouldn't they be winning this?
You would think so, but it comes down to the business model. DAZN is a specialist. If you unsubscribe from sports, or if it's the off-season, you cancel DAZN. There's no reason to keep it.
Right.
Amazon is a generalist. You keep Prime for the free shipping, the cloud storage, the movies. So the sports rights are just a retention tool.
Right. I'm not canceling my free shipping just because football season ended.
Exactly. The general entertainment platforms, your Amazons, your Peacocks, they're becoming the de facto sports networks because they have deeper pockets and lower churn risks. They can outspend the pure plays because their business doesn't only rely on sports.
That makes perfect sense. It's the bundle 2.0. And speaking of pockets and bundles, NBC Universal isn't sitting this one out. I was reading a report from CNBC about what they're calling Legendary February.
I love that branding. It's very clever marketing, but I think it's born out of necessity.
It's catchy. But the strategy's interesting. They're testing this idea of an event cluster. They're airing the Winter Olympics, the Super Bowl, and the NBA All-Star Game all in a single cluster to drive Peacock subscriptions.
Is this just about having a busy month, or is there something deeper here?
Oh, it's entirely strategic. It's a churn reduction strategy. In streaming, the biggest enemy is people subscribing for one event and then canceling the next day. NBC is betting that if they can stack 3 massive cultural moments back to back to back, they hook you.
So you stick around.
You get in for the Olympics opening ceremony, you stay for the Super Bowl halftime show, and then you stick around for the NBA All-Star Game. By the time that's over, you've paid for a second month.
So it's about creating a sticky ecosystem for at least a fiscal quarter.
Precisely. And the question for the industry is, can legacy media like NBC use these massive condensed event clusters to compete with the always-on deep pockets of big tech like Amazon?
Right.
It's 2 very different philosophies colliding. One is about consistent utility. The other is about eventizing the calendar. Well, let's talk about that first pillar of the cluster, the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony is coming up on February 6th at San Siro Stadium. But looking at the sources from Reuters and Sports Pro, this feels different. They're calling it the luxury games.
It's a very intentional pivot. You look at the brand list, Armani, EA7, Ralph Lauren, Moncler. These aren't just slapping logos on jerseys or buying 30-second TV spots.
So what are they doing?
According to Sports Pro, they're establishing a direct presence and doing full team outfitting.
So it's less about official sponsor and more about Fashion Week on snow.
It really is. I mean, think about the demographic that watches the Winter Olympics versus the Summer Olympics. Alpine sports, skiing, snowboarding, these attract a wealthier, more affluent demographic. These brands know that. They aren't trying to sell soda to the masses. They are selling a lifestyle to the 1%.
That makes sense given the location. Milan is the fashion capital of the world. If you can't sell luxury there, you can't sell it anywhere.
Exactly. And it marks a shift from traditional sponsorship to what they call premium consumer experiences. It's not just a billboard, it's a pop-up boutique at the bottom of the slope. It's integrating the product into the environment.
But it's not just the clothes. The venues themselves are changing. Perplexity notes this is the first co-hosted Olympics Milan for ice sports, Cortina for alpine.
Right.
But the Sports Business Journal had a really interesting point about the venue innovation.
Yes, this is a trend we're seeing globally. New venues are being designed as mixed-use spaces.
We hear mixed use a lot in real estate, usually meaning apartments above shops. What does it mean for a sports stadium?
In this context, it means the infrastructure is agnostic. They aren't just built for hockey or skating anymore. They're being wired with advanced fiber optics, server rooms, and lighting grids, specifically for esports and endurance events.
Esports at the Winter Olympics venues.
Not necessarily during the Olympics, but the legacy plan requires it. These venues cost billions. You can't make that money back just hosting hockey games.
Right, of course.
You need to be able to host a League of Legends tournament on Tuesday and a figure skating competition on Saturday. It's about future-proofing the real estate asset.
That is smart. It turns a white elephant into a working asset. Okay, we have to shift gears from the luxury slopes to a very gritty reality in the boardroom.
Yeah.
The WNBA. Today, February 2nd, is a huge day.
Critical. Maybe the most important day in the league's history since its founding.
According to The Athletic and SBJ, the league and the players' union are in their first negotiation meeting in weeks today. And the tension is high. What are the actual numbers causing the friction?
The numbers are miles apart. If we look at the breakdown from Perplexity and SBJ, the players proposed a 30% gross revenue share.
30% of gross. That is aggressive.
It is. It's a true partnership model. They're saying, as the league grows, we want our checks to grow immediately. They want to ride the wave of the league's success directly.
And the league's counter.
The league countered with a $1 million base salary cap per team. Now, to be fair, that is up significantly from the previous $249,000. It's a massive jump, basically quadrupling the cap.
It is.
But it's structurally very different. A cap is a fixed cost. A revenue share is variable.
So the players want a slice of the pie, and the league wants to give them a bigger allowance.
Essentially. And the risk factor here is real. The union is worried that a work stoppage could kill the momentum. We just came off record 2025 ratings. The WNBA is finally hot. If they miss the start of the season or if there's a lockout, that momentum could evaporate. Fans are fickle. They might not come back.
That's the nightmare scenario. Speaking of fickle fans and momentum, let's talk about alternative sports. Because while the major leagues are fighting over billions, the challenger leagues are making moves. We saw a massive headline from SBJ and Perplexity regarding the X Games.
This is a landmark deal. MoonPay has signed an 8-figure deal to become the title sponsor. It's now the MoonPay X Games League.
8 figures. For the X Games. That seems huge for a property that people thought peaked in, the early 2000s.
It is massive, and it shows that the brand is being revitalized. They're launching new franchises in LA, NY, Sao Paulo, and Tokyo. It validates the model that niche sports, if packaged correctly, can attract Tier 1 capital.
So what's the connection with MoonPay?
MoonPay is a crypto fintech platform. They're betting that the X Games demographic, young, risk-tolerant digital natives, is their exact future user base.
So it's a perfect demographic overlap.
Yeah.
But it's not all sunshine in alt sports land. You found a pretty cautionary tale regarding Grand Slam track.
Yeah, this is worrying. SBJ reports that the Association of Athletics Managers has effectively warned Grand Slam track. They're saying you must reimburse athletes before the 2026 season.
And they haven't.
Apparently only 50% of payments have been made so far.
Ouch. That is a quick way to lose trust. In a startup league, isn't reputation everything?
It's the only currency you have. If you burn the athletes, you have no product. It destroys credibility instantly. And then you have the Baller League. Sport Call and Perplexity are reporting that they have paused operations in Germany due to unprofitability.
And the Baller League was huge on social media, right?
Yeah.
I saw clips everywhere. It looked like a massive success.
Huge engagement, high turnover, but they couldn't make the unit economics work. It proves that the geographic arbitrage model is really difficult to pull off.
Geographic arbitrage. Explain that for us.
It's the idea that you can take a format that works in one place, say the Kings League in Spain, and just drop it into another market, like Germany, and expect the same result.
That's not that simple.
Not at all. Operational costs vary. Audience behaviors vary. You can have all the TikTok views in the world, but if the local venue costs and labor laws in Germany eat you alive, you're done. Views do not equal profitability.
That is a harsh lesson. Just because it's viral doesn't mean it's viable.
Exactly.
That is a perfect segue into our final big chunk here, the creator economy and sponsorship. Because as you said, views don't always equal cash, but they are certainly changing the contracts.
This is where the landscape is shifting under our feet. PwC released their sports outlook, and they introduced this concept of the Creator Access Clause.
Creator Access Clause.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean for an athlete?
It means that contracts now explicitly require athletes to participate in creator-led content. It's not just show up for the game and maybe a press conference.
It's more than that.
It's, you need to film a segment with this YouTuber, or you need to be part of this Twitch stream. It's no longer optional.
That is a huge shift in workload. It turns every athlete into a content creator, whether they like it or not.
And the brands demand it. Sports Pro adds another layer to this. They identify AI personalized fan journeys as a core sponsorship KPI.
Can you translate AI personalized fan journey?
Sure. In the past, a brand bought a logo on a jersey and hoped you saw it. It was spray and pray.
Right.
Now they're buying data. They want to know that their brand was served to you specifically at the moment you were most engaged in a highlight reel tailored to your preferences. They want the receipt that proves you saw it.
It's getting incredibly granular. But with all this money floating around personal brands, we're seeing the regulators step in. You referenced a story from The Athletic about NIL.
Yes, the College Sports Commission is investigating LSU regarding NIL reporting issues. This is significant because it signals the Wild West era of NIL might be closing.
Okay.
We are moving towards stricter regulation, more auditing, and more accountability. You can't just hand bags of cash to recruits anymore without a paper trail.
Now, I want to circle back to that Disney revenue hit we mentioned at the top. $56 million lost.
Yeah.
And the culprit. A temporary suspension on YouTube TV.
This is the power dynamic shift in a nutshell. WDW News Today reported this, and the implication is staggering. YouTube TV is no longer just a digital add-on or a nice-to-have. It's a gatekeeper.
So it's essential.
If you aren't on YouTube TV, you are losing massive revenue. Disney, the biggest entertainment company on Earth, took a $56 million bruise just because of a temporary outage.
That really puts YouTube in the driver's seat. They hold the toll bridge.
They do.
And for the creators listening, or even the leagues trying to act like creators, there's a very specific tip here from Sprout Social regarding the 2026 YouTube algorithm.
This is actionable advice for anyone in the content game. The algorithm has shifted. It is now prioritizing viewer satisfaction signals, specifically retention over raw views.
So the era of clickbait is finally dead.
Clickbait is dying. The algorithm is smarter now. It wants to know, did the person stay? Did they watch the next video? Did they come back tomorrow? So the advice for sports properties is to stop just dumping 30-second highlight clips. You need to build recurring series.
Give me an example. What should a team or a league actually be doing?
Think Road to the Finals or Rookie Diaries. You need narrative arcs that keep people coming back week after week. If you just post a dunk, people watch and leave. Right. If you post episode 3 of a series about a rookie trying to make the team, people subscribe to say episode 4. That is what the machine wants now.
It's almost like you have to be a TV network within the platform. You have to understand programming.
Exactly. You have to program it like a channel, not a clip repository.
Wow. We have covered a massive amount of ground, from the NFL effectively buying a seat at Disney's table, to high fashion taking over the Alps, to the WNBA fighting for their share, and YouTube holding the keys to the kingdom.
It's a convergence of everything: tech, finance, labor, and culture. The walls between these industries are gone.
They really are. So, based on all these sources, what is the one thing we should be left thinking about?
Well, looking at the PwC outlook and the Sports Pro reports on prediction markets, here's a provocative thought. We're seeing the rise of AI generating hyper-tailored highlight feeds. We are seeing prediction markets like Polymarket entering sponsorship.
Okay.
Are we moving toward a world where no two fans actually see the same version of a sport? If your feed is curated by AI to show you what you want and your engagement is driven by your specific bets, do we even share a common reality of the game anymore?
That is slightly dystopian, but incredibly likely. The fragmentation of reality through sports.
It's where the technology is pointing. The stadium is the only place left where everyone sees the same thing.
Well, on that note, we will leave you to ponder the future of your own reality. Thank you for joining the deep dive today. Check the show notes for links to all 200+ references we used to build this out.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Daily Sports Content Economy Podcast. If you're ready to build your content media empire, we should probably talk. Visit rootgroupmarketing.com. Thanks for watching and listening.